Hello everyone, so today we are going to share tough times for fresh graduates issue. It is for Human Resource Management MGT340. But first, let me introduce the presenter. Hi, I am Azeni Rahalan, the presenter for number 1, and the next presenter is Irina Ng for presenter number 2. And for the presenter number 3 is Aisha Nadzira. The next is Nur Azmina, and for our conclusion is Izurin Omar. Do you know there are 5.36 million university graduates in Malaysia in 2020. But the number of employed graduates only 4.35 million person. It shows that the unemployment rate at Malaysia is rising. It is because of this era, the pandemic, the coronavirus, and it is make every fresh graduate feel worried about it. And yes, it is a tough times for fresh graduates to seek a job opportunity in this era, cause there's too many rivalry for a job position. Fresh graduates not only compete with fresh graduates but also compete with someone who already have experience in a job field. So the fresh graduates cannot be so choosy about it, and also we want to know what is the problem and can this issue be solved for fresh graduates? I don't want to waste your time, so let us share with you the answer for all of this question.
After we have identified the problem, we can see some factors and what is the impact of the problems towards fresh graduates. Problem is not a thing that can be solved easily. It has some steps to solve it, because if the problem we solve it without we know its impact or effect of the solution, it can create to another problem. So before we solve it, we have to know what are the factors of the problem, also what are the impact of the problem by this topic, which is tough time for fresh graduates throughout COVID-19. The first factor that lead to the problems are currently not all of the companies really need new workers since the pandemic COVID-19 outbreak. COVID-19 outbreak has impacted all of us, which is all around the world are affected by financial or non-financial. A lot of company has to shut down their company because they have to face many expenses even though they do not operate their facility, which has their workers' expenses. They also have to stabilize their financial income of their business, or else they have to shut down their business, or easy to say, bankrupt. Because of that, most of the companies do not hire any workers, and most of the fresh graduates have to wait for a long time being unemployed, and some of them have to find another way in order to survive and sustain in living. The second factors are some companies do not want to waste their budget on training new workers, especially fresh graduates, but instead they hire skilled workers which are an experienced worker. Some companies believe that hiring experienced workers is more worth it than hiring fresh graduates, since the fresh graduates do not have any experience. But if all of the companies around the world required should have any work experience before in their qualification, it is very impossible for the fresh graduate to work in any company. Every company has to think wisely, especially their human resource department, to make sure that their company continues to grow and succeed. Next, we go to the impact or effect of this problem. The first effect are increasing in unemployment rate due to the fact that the fresh graduates are getting harder to accept in any company due to the lack of experience. If the unemployment rate in our country increasing, it will destroy our country's economy, which our country will be one of the poorest country in the world as Africa. By that, if the fresh graduates are not accepted into any company to get work, our employment rate in this country will increase. Lastly, the impact of these problems are criminal case getting increased. Due to this, it will make the fresh graduates take the easy and negative way, which do some crime as robbery, kidnapping, and even killing, because they do not get accepted into any company. This will lead to the increased crime rate in our country. If crime in our country increasing, this will destroy our country's economy because no tourists will come to our country because we know that tourism sector are also one of the source of revenue to our country. Basically, today it's very hard for the fresh graduate to find a job since most of the companies have high qualification that are not reasonable. Even more so with the current situation that both sides are in a very urgent situation to continue living. So next, I will pass to the solution of the problems.
Alright, thanks to Arina. I'm Aisha, and without wasting our time, let's move to the next part, which is the solution that have been implemented by the government to increase our fresh graduate market. But why? Why the solution need to be implemented? Why the government have been decided to apply a solution? Believe it or not, our future graduates also affected by this trend. By that, the initiative been undertaken involving student compulsory activities, especially in their final semester. So, to improve graduate marketability, these are two the solution. The first one is industry-involved curriculum, and the second one is intervention program. So here, I will explain about industry-involved curriculum first. What is industry-involved curriculum provide us? Industry-involved curriculum provide us with three programs, which are practical training, internship, and the last one is work-based learning. Under this program, students must work in the industry for at least 3 months to 1 year and have both practical and theoretical elements. The most exciting part is internship and practical experience can be included in our resume and our CV. So the chances of getting hired are better than usual. But there is one question has been popped up from my mind before this. What is different between practical and internship because they look similar? Actually, practical likely to receive opposite of learning theory. For example, someone training to be a chef may learn theory in a classroom but then also have practical lessons in a kitchen. While internship is a period of work experience within an organization. This means that you have gained practical experience doing work for a real company as to just practical exercises in an educational environment. So, the last one is work-based learning. What is work-based learning program? Work-based learning is an educational program that combines classroom instruction with practical work experience that is directly related to a program of study. This program mission is to enhance student knowledge by combining classroom learning with hands-on work experience. However, work-based learning is more aimed under intervention program. Yes, intervention program is the second solution. This program is a newly developed Bachelor of Technology BTech programs in specialized technical fields. So, what is the specialization in the program? This program does a collaboration with 4 Malaysian Technical University networks, MTUN, which are University Malaysia Pahang UMP, University Tun Hussein On Malaysia UTHM, University Technical Malaysia Melaka UTEM, and the last one is University Malaysia Perlis UNIMEP. Furthermore, the program benchmarked with Mr. Program in the Federal Republic of Germany. Let me tell you something. For your information, Mr. Program in the Federal Republic of Germany is a dual vocational training that combines a practical training in companies and theoretical training at school. It's same with the definition of work-based learning. So, before I end my season, I want to share that even though this intervention program were found to be of a lower demand, but the students who take this course are given added value through their participation in professional accreditation in areas such as digital marketing, cybersecurity, and data analysis. So I think that's all from me. I pass this slide to the next person. Thank you.
Recommendation. Here's some suggestion for applicants, mainly persons who have recently completed their lectures at any university level and are still unemployed. As we all know, the hiring slowdown in 2016 is on the rise, resulting in a shortage of factors in the job hunt. As a result, many people are less fortunate and are born without a job after graduating from university. Such an occurrence is becoming commonplace, affecting hundreds of new graduates rather than just 2 or 3. Moreover, due to the economic crisis caused by the COVID-19 epidemic, recent graduates would confront stumbling barriers and increased employment demands in the coming years. As a result, there are suggestions for recent graduates and students to learn to build their occupation without being summoned to work for a firm or government agency. To begin with, our recent graduates must have 1 or 2 skills. Numerous individuals are losing their sources of income and occupation due to the epidemic. In that pandemic situation, the most substantial effect we can detect is hotel management roles. Most of them had to quit their careers and make do on their own. However, our talents and skill at this point make houses us to remain. Guys who familiar with electronic, automobile, coding and software can use their abilities. For a long time, skills have been pushing changes in the most in-demand skills. The COVID-19 epidemic has hastened this process by altering our ways of working, consuming and living. Companies have to adapt their working method to survive. We can generate money from our expertise as well. What am I referring to is business. For example, if we expertise in electronic, we can install, service and repair air conditioner. As a result, we will have income while waiting to be summoned to work. In other words, skills are essential for obtaining a sources of income in the present. Other than that, individuals who are still pursuing their education at the university level may establish their business while studying. But there are a lot of factors to consider. Only this may lead to a favorable outcome, which is a business experience. Being an agent for any firm is the simplest method to get us into business. As an example, consider licensed medical supplies. Demand for it now at a decent level. Selling other people's items is better than branding our own. So be as astute as possible. As a consequence, recent graduates and students should seek out opportunities. There are far too many programs available to start a company. It is preferable to establish a company rather than anticipating and waiting to be summoned to work.
Finally, conclusion. There is a saying goes, there is always a rainbow after rain, meaning to say, every problem that occurs must have a solution to it. This matter can be attributed to fresh graduates that are struggling to find jobs, especially during these hard times due to the economic downturn caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. The main reason for this is because all of the fresh graduates definitely have no experience in contributing their energy and service towards an organization or a company. However, every cloud has a silver lining. That means there is always a solution that will save those fresh graduates from this problem as long as they have other basic skills. To conclude all of the information as a whole, as a fresh graduate, they need to always be ready and prepared in terms of doing research on their own in order to gain more knowledge as well as information about the company that they are interested to contribute their services to. Moreover, those fresh graduates obviously need to get the paperwork or resume prepared. This is also to ensure that the employers can have a clear information on their biodata, achievements, abilities, and more in order to consider fresh graduates into their company. Additionally, seek a consultation from a friend to go through or double-check the final finishing of their resume is always one of the effective ways to look presentable before reaching out to the employers just to boost their confidence even more. So, hopefully, the unemployment rate, not just among the fresh graduates but overall in our country, Malaysia, can be decreased in the upcoming time. Thank you very much.
Well, I think that's all from us. All of the questions that I asked at the beginning of this video already been answered from my friends, and I would like to say thank you for your attention. For even though you just hearing this video, I hope that every point you get it. And I also want to say thank you for your spending your time for us. That's all. Thank you and goodbye everyone.